You know that friend who always seems chill? Like, genuinely calm, even during finals week when everyone else is losing their mind. Here's the thing, they're not trying to be calm, and that's exactly why it works. I used to think calm people had some secret meditation routine or were just born different. Turns out, I had it completely backwards. And once I figured out what they actually do differently, everything changed. So let's talk about why forcing yourself to stay calm is probably making you more anxious, and what actually works instead. Okay, so here's where it gets weird. The harder you try to be calm, the more stressed you become. It's like telling yourself, don't think about a pink elephant. Suddenly, that's all you can think about, right? Psychologists call this the relaxation paradox. When you're sitting there before a presentation thinking, I need to calm down, I need to calm down, your brain is actually focusing on the anxiety. You're giving it more power. I remember before my first big exam in college, I tried everything: deep breathing, positive affirmations. I literally Googled how to calm down fast at 2 a.m. And you know what happened? I felt worse. Because now I was anxious about being anxious. Here's the truth that actually calm people understand. They don't fight the feeling, they redirect it. And that small shift, it changes everything. But before we get into what they do instead, you need to understand why your brain works against you when you're stressed. So your brain has this thing called the amygdala. Think of it as your personal alarm system. When something stressful happens, it screams danger and floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Now here's the problem. When you try to force calmness, you're basically telling your alarm system, shut up, you're wrong. But your amygdala doesn't care about logic. It's designed to keep you alive, not to listen to your rational thoughts. So what happens? It gets louder, your heart races faster, your thoughts spiral more. Calm people, they don't argue with their amygdala, they work with it. Let me give you a real example. Last semester, I had 3 papers due in 1 week. Old me would have panicked and thought, I can't handle this, I need to stay calm. But instead, I tried something different. I acknowledged it. Out loud, I literally said, okay, yeah, this is stressful. That makes sense. And something wild happened. My shoulders dropped. My breathing slowed, not because I forced it, but because I stopped fighting. This is called paradoxical intention in psychology. When you stop resisting an emotion, it loses its grip on you. Think about the last time you were really stressed. How much energy did you waste trying to not feel stressed? All right, so if calm people aren't trying to be calm, what are they doing? I've broken this down into 3 things I've noticed and actually tested myself. 1, they name it. Instead of I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, they say I'm feeling anxious right now. That's it, no judgment, no shame. There's actual research on this. It's called effect labeling. When you name an emotion, it reduces activity in your amygdala by up to 50%. You're not suppressing it. You're just calling it what it is. Try it next time. Instead of fighting that pre-exam panic, just think or say, this is anxiety, cool, got it. It sounds too simple, but I promise it works. 2, they focus on action, not feeling. Here's where most people get stuck. We think we need to feel calm before we can act. But calm people flip that. They ask, what's the next small thing I can do? Not how do I stop feeling this way, but what's one thing I can control right now? Maybe it's opening your laptop, organizing your desk, texting one friend back, small, concrete actions. Because here's the secret. Action creates calm, not the other way around. When I'm spiraling about a project, I don't sit there trying to get in the zone. I just open the doc and write 1 sentence. That's it, and usually the anxiety fades as I move. 3, they let their body lead. This one's subtle but huge. Calm people don't force their breathing or their posture. They just move, go for a walk, stretch for 2 minutes. Do 10 jumping jacks. Sounds dumb, I know, but your body and brain are connected. When you move, you're telling your nervous system, we're okay, we're handling this. I started doing this thing where if I feel stressed, I just stand up and shake my hands out for like 15 seconds. Looks ridiculous, works every time. Your brain takes cues from your body. If your body acts calm, your brain starts to follow. Now here's the thing, this all sounds great in theory. But what about when you're actually in the moment, freaking out? Let me show you how this plays out in real time. Let's say you've got a presentation tomorrow. You can't sleep. Your thoughts are racing, your chest feels tight. Old approach. I need to calm down, stop overthinking, just relax. Why can't I relax? Now I'm stressed about being stressed. Great, see how that spiral works? New approach. Okay, I'm nervous about this presentation. That makes sense, it matters to me. What's one thing I can do right now? Maybe you review your notes for 5 minutes. Or you write down 3 bullet points you definitely want to hit. Or you text a friend, I'm nervous about tomorrow, lol. You're not forcing calm. You're acknowledging the feeling and taking one tiny step forward. And here's what I've noticed. Once you take that step, the anxiety doesn't disappear, but it quiets down. Because your brain realizes, oh, we're handling this. We're not in danger. We're just preparing. I used to lose hours trying to calm myself down before big things. Now, I lose maybe 5 minutes acknowledging it and then I move. That shift has genuinely changed my life. And look, I'm not saying you'll never feel anxious again. That's not realistic. But you can stop fighting yourself. You can stop making it worse. Here's what I wish someone had told me earlier. Calmness isn't a personality trait. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's a skill. And like any skill, it gets easier the more you practice. But the practice isn't try to be calm. It's stop fighting yourself. It's naming the feeling, taking one small action, moving your body. The people who seem naturally calm, they're just doing these things automatically. They've practiced enough that it's become their default. And you can get there too. It won't happen overnight. Some days will be harder than others. But every time you catch yourself spiraling and choose to redirect instead of resist, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching yourself a new way to handle stress. And that's actually powerful. So here's your challenge. Next time you feel stressed or anxious, don't try to calm down. Instead, try this. Name what you're feeling, out loud or in your head. Then ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do right now? And then do it. That's it, 3 steps. See what happens. I'd genuinely love to hear how this goes for you. Drop a comment and let me know if this clicks, or if you found something else that works. And if this helped, send it to that one friend who's always stressing. They might need to hear it too. Let's stop fighting ourselves and start working with ourselves instead. I'll see you in the next one. You've got this.